Hello dear chess friend. As you know, there is the World Chess Championship going on in Rapid and Blitz categories, and we had a very exciting game in round number 2. Fridman, a German-Latvian grandmaster, played Fedoseev, one of the biggest talents that Russia had in the last 5 years, I would say. And there was a very exciting game. It was a rapid, time control was 15+10, and would love to share that game with all of you. So let's jump right into it. So white plays d4, or Fridman plays d4, d5, knight f3, knight f6, c4. Now we could have Slav defensive, black chooses to play c6, but black chooses queen's gambit declined, e6, and we have the Catalan opening. One of the most popular ways of playing versus queen's gambit in the recent 10 years, I would say. Bishop b4 check. A lot of the times this check is included. It's a very fashionable move. The main idea is that, well, it's provocative move. If white plays bishop d2, then the bishop would draw back to e7, and the bishop here is slightly misplaced. Not only that, it's not very active here, I would say. Maybe the bishop would be better off on squares like f4 on g5, or even actually on b2. But not only that, it doesn't allow the queen to protect d4 pawn, which a lot of the times could get vulnerable in if black takes on c4 and knight comes to c6. However, here Fridman plays a very rare move. Actually, the most rare move in this situation, it's knight c3. Well, the knight from here also supports possible e4 breaks later. As you can see, the knight is pinned. Now, most importantly, perhaps in this line, black can take on c4 and try to hold on to the pawn, as the queen from c2, which a lot of times it does go to c2, won't help winning the pawn back, as the knight will be in the way. So let's see how the game proceeds. Castles bishop g2. Finally, black decides to take the pawn, white castles. And here, black did not play the main and the most ambitious move here. So the main move would be knight c6. And ideas are simple. I want to play rook b8 or b5. I want to play a6 or b5. Most importantly, I also stop one of the main moves in the Catalan opening, which is knight e5. It not only would open up the diagonal for the light square bishop, but at the same time, it will attack the pawn on c4. Of course, here that's not feasible because black would just take the knight. So instead of that, black played bishop d7. In other lines of the Catalan opening, it's a common move. The main idea is to activate the bishop on c6. And what black really wants is to exchange those bishops. And if he does that without big punishment, let's say he doesn't damage his own pawn structure, it's a very big step into equalizing for the black, if he manages to improve the light square bishop of his. So bishop d7, knight e5 immediately. Now we have bishop c6, black offers an exchange of the bishops, which would benefit black, of course. We have e4. So no exchanges, possible d5s in the future, and also controlling hugely the center. So now we have takes on c4, knight takes on c6. Obviously that was our target. The bishop has been eaten. Takes on c6 and now takes on c3. So what happened is that black is still pawn up, white has very strong center, black has the possibility of opening that bishop when he feels so. He has the open file that he could use to attack the pawn. c4 pawn is always the one that will be weak, plus he has two bishops. So white is of course better. We have e5 by black. He wants to stay with the pawn on e5 to make sure that the light square bishop here does not get activated. So we push d5, space advantage for the white player. Now he has to choose between two natural moves, knight e5 or knight e7. So if knight e7, again, white has so many ideas. f4 to later try to open up the bishop, bishop a3, rook b1. White has many natural moves that will benefit him and improve his position. We have knight e5 in the game. Here very naturally developing the bishop with a tempo, attacking the rook on f8. Rook e8, bishop b4. Unfortunately, the knight has nowhere to go. So knight is under attack. We have to play b6. And now bishop takes a5, b takes a5. And just look, Black is still a pawn up. However, I believe that the bishop is going to be better here than the knight. Seems like black has no good outpost besides the f6 square, but I'm very happy that this is covered as well. A possible outpost that would be for the knight, if not for the pawn being on c3. Also, the pawns are here very, very damaged, and I would say white has huge advantage after queen e4. Not only we're winning the one pawn back, but if one of those pawns gets eaten, the rest of the pawns still remain weakened. Queen d6 by black, rook a b1, fighting for the file, very natural. Rook b8, queen takes a5, finally winning the pawn back. And now again, as I said, the rest of the pawns still remain weakened. Now, the only thing that black still might be happy about is that white light square bishop is still not activated. Rook b6 by black, rook b4, attacking another weakness, c4, rook a6, queen b5. Rook takes a2, rook takes c4. So as you can see, the material is again equal. However, black's pawns c7 and a7 are very, very weak. Black plays knight e8 over protecting the weakness on c7. Queen b7, the rook is hit. Queen d8. So now black does not only defend everything, but he's ready also to improve his rook with rook b8. So white plays queen b3 and is ready to face, first of all, after rook b8, we could play rook b4, but obviously the rook here is just hanging. So black has to defend or move the rook away. Rook a6, rook b4, knight d6, f4. So fighting for opening up the diagonal, also threatening to invade the king side, and one of the possible ways of white later improving the bishop would be via h3 square. Queen e8, takes on e5, takes on e5, rook b8 check. Now the 8th rank is very vulnerable, and here he just finds a fantastic move, I would say. Bishop h3, leaving that unguarded. So as we can see in the game, what he prepared here is not bishop d7, right? That's also possible, and I would say after king f8 guarding that, takes. Who knows what is going on here? White has two passed pawns, right? It's also a possibility. However, he planned bishop e6, a fantastic move. So before I explain you that move, let's just see what happened in the game, because that's exactly what's going to happen in one move. So rook d6, bishop e6. That's what Fedoseev blundered. That's how you outplay 2700 with a move like that. Of course, he had a bad position after the opening and he got a little bit outplayed in the middle game, but if not for this move, I would say that maybe he can hold and maybe he doesn't have that many problems after all. But just bishop e6, and what to do, he has to take as e8 is hanging, right? So again, if we place anything like king f8, we have rook takes f7 and he's lost. So rook takes e6, d takes e6, and now white has an exchange. And the rest is just the technical part. Queen takes a7, takes on e4, queen d4, centralizing the queens. Obviously anything like that would be easy conversion to the win for such a player like Fridman. Queen e7, and now white just improves his position little by little in trying to convert the advantage of having a rook versus the knight. Queen d5, black of course denies all the exchanges of the queens. King f2 in an open position, when you're much more active, you could even play such moves like king f2. So still denying the exchanges. Queen d4. Again, the queen in the center always provides a lot of coverage for your own king from opponent checks. Queen d5, queen b6, walking around c5, improving again the situation of the pawns. King g2. And soon, it's only a matter of time when black is gonna face a blunder, because white can just maneuver, and here we come rook e2. Final blunder. So black gave a check, king g2. What to do with the knight? The knight has nowhere to go. h4 was tried, rook takes e8, and white won in a couple of moves. I would say really technical and beautiful game played by Fridman. Even the opening move, knight c3, I liked. Classical Catalan pressure along the against the weak pawn structure of the blacks. Hope you enjoyed this game. Very exciting. I'm looking to make a lot more analysis on this, one of the best tournaments there is in chess. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to my channel. Hopefully you're gonna stay for more. See you in the next one. Bye bye.